Hello everybody, Chris from Welcome Board Store, and today we're taking a look at Future fins. Future fins have a really solid base, which gives you a really connected feel to the board. If you've ever had a board that has glass on fins, you would notice that there's a real connection between the board and the fin. So the whole idea behind Futures is having this really solid base that sits inside the board, gives you a more connected feel, and will create a stiff base which gives you drive and gives you hold. It's a really good design, and in the Future lines they have a number of different options which we're going to try and break down. They've got 3 different templates, also 4 different constructions to choose from. So we'll start off with the Legacy series, which is their thruster series that comes in 3 different constructions and 3 different shapes. So we'll start off with the shapes. So you have a raked fin, which on the packaging it'll say raked. Now a raked fin is going to be the fin that comes furthest back from the back of the fin. So if you measured from the back of the fin to that point there, that's the longest distance in the fin that you will see. Now a raked fin, what is it going to do? It's going to give you hold, and it's also going to give you more drive because the fin is raking back from the end of the board. It will also draw your turns out a little bit as well. So they're really suited to bigger waves, I find, because it's giving you more hold and it'll draw it out off the bottom. When you've got that big wave and you've got time off the bottom, having a rake fin in feels really good. Then you have, on the other side of the scale, they have an upright fin. So you'll see the distance between the back of this fin and there is not very far at all compared to your raked fin there. These are going to make your board turn tighter and get you up into the lip quicker. And this is called a pivot fin. It has the word pivot on the packaging clearly marked. These are really good for beach breaks, and on the Morning Peninsula these work really good because we have really quick beachies, and a lot of the time when you're on a beachy it's like, oh, let's get up into the lip, get up into the lip. You want to get up there quick. You don't want a raked fin that's just going to draw your turns out and push you out into the face too much. Your pivots are really nice. Then in between your raked and your pivot, they do a neutral fin. So it's not as upright as the pivot and it's not as raked out as your raked. So this sits in the middle. Now you could say that you put a set of neutral template fins in a board. The board's probably going to ride how the shaper intended it to ride. And then from there, you can manipulate that board by getting it to have more hold and more drive by putting in a rake fin. Or say you want to manipulate the board to do tighter turns, you put in your upright pivot fin. So I would suggest that if you're going to buy one set of fins and a new board, just start with the neutral fin. And then from there you can look at a raked fin if it feels a little loose and you want more hold, or if it's the sort of board that you're riding in good waves, you'll pair it up with a raked fin, because it's going to give you that hold, it's going to give you that hold, also that drive. Also in high performance boards, they generally have a lot of rocker out the tail. The rake fins work really well, and you probably notice that a lot of pros ride a raked fin. Now, on the other side, if you've got a really wide board and the board is drawing its turns out because it's got quite width to it, then you can manipulate that board to do type of turns and put in a pivot fin. So that's when that comes in. I really like, say for example, the Happy Everyday. It's quite a wide step down short board. With that width, I really like to chuck in a pivot fin, and I just find that that'll make the board perform tighter in the pocket and not draw so far out into the shoulder of the wave. Moving right along, then you have your constructions. So they come in 4 different constructions, and the first construction is black stick. Black stick is going to be your speed generating, And on the packaging, it clearly says speed generating. So small waves, when you want speed, you get a speed generating fin in the black stick constructions. They're clearly labeled, and that you can get a black stick fin in a raked, neutral, or pivot template. So you've got the best of all worlds. It's personal preference what people like. A lot of people will like to run just a rake fin all the time, and that's just what they run, or they just run the neutral, or they're a pivot guy. It's personal preference. If you've got the luxury of being able to have the quiver of all, then you can play around. And let me tell you, fins do make a difference with a board. If you've got a board that is not feeling right, and maybe it's getting too much lift in the tail and it's feeling loose, don't just ditch the board, because that's to ditch that and buy another board is way more expensive than just put another set of fins in. And I've personally had boards that I didn't like, and then I've chucked a different set of fins in, and it's been like one of my favorite boards. So playing around with fins is a good way to get the most out of your equipment, 100%. So that's the black stick construction. Also, what you need to know about the black stick construction is the foil. So the foil's different on the fins. So you'll find they're wider through the center of the fin here, and then they're really cupped out through there, which makes the water squeeze off the fin and give you more speed as well. So foil's different, and then also the construction is softer, and it's really going to rebound and give you that spring. Then we have the honeycomb construction fins. In exactly the same thing with the templates. You've got raked, neutral, pivot. Honeycomb construction is a medium flexing fin. They call it a balanced fin on the packaging. And they have it clearly marked that it's an all-round fin. So if you're just going to buy one fin, you're probably going to go with the honeycomb construction, because it sits right in the middle and it's going to be the most versatile. You know, if you get the black sticks, maybe if you're a really, really light guy, you can push them in bigger waves, but generally a black stick in bigger waves, you probably might find that you start to overpower the fins, and then when you overpower them, you push on them and you don't feel any feedback, because they're just so soft that they don't rebound back, and you're just pushing through the fin kind of thing. So having the honeycomb, medium flexing, that's the way to go. And then you've got your 3 different templates. So that depends on the board, and it depends where you're surfing. Then we have the TechFlex construction, which I got a set of Johns here in the TechFlex construction. And this is a neutral template. So it sits right in the middle there. That's obviously what John likes, a neutral template. And the TechFlex is a stiffer design fin, which is going to give you more hold and more drive in bigger, better waves. And on the packaging, it clearly states speed control. It is what it is. You're going to bust these bad boys out when the waves are good, and you know you're going to be going fast, and you're onto it. The other construction they have is a fiberglass fin. These are the Coffin Bro fins in a rake template. These fins are your stiffest construction. They do not flex at all. A lot of pros will love riding the fiberglasses, you will notice. They're a little bit heavier than, say, your TechFlex here, but they are the stiffest option. So for me personally, I don't push that hard. I don't ride waves that good that often to where I really need a fiberglass fin, a fin this stiff. The stiffest I will personally go would be the TechFlex, and that works really, really, really good for me when the waves are good and pumping. But if you want really, really stiff fins, go the fiberglass. So hopefully that helps break down the different constructions that you can get in future fins and the 3 different shapes that you can get. It's all marked clearly on the packaging. Getting the right fins for your board is key. So if you guys ever have any questions, please hit us up on our socials, or you can contact the store direct by giving us a call. Hit us up on our support email, support@welcomeboardstore.com.au, and we're always here to help. And yeah, we'll see you on the water.